Haley from OneOnRabbits.com, and in today's video, I am going to be doing an emergency kit video. I haven't done one of these in several years, so my emergency kit has definitely grown, and I just wanted to show you the updated version. But in this video, I will also be showing you my cat and dog emergency kit as well. For those of you who do not know, I also have two cats, Lincoln and Milo, and I will be bringing home my service dog, Luca, in about 3 weeks. So I went ahead and prepared for him as well. So this isn't just strictly a rabbit emergency kit. And the reason I'm including all the pets in this video is because that a lot of these things can be used with all of them. So to separate it between specifically cat, dog, and rabbit, it's hard because I bought the same things for all of them for some of it. So I hope that makes sense. I will try to distinguish in this video when I'm showing you things what's rabbit specific, which ones can be used with everything, and then which ones are cat, dog, things like that. But I figured a lot of people have several pets, so this may be interesting to you guys as well. And then I will also be showing you guys my travel emergency kit. This is for Luca specifically because my cats and rabbits don't travel, but my service dog is gonna be coming with me everywhere, so he needs an emergency kit on the go. And then I also have another little bag here with some extra stuff. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started because I feel like this will be a long video. But the first thing we have here, and this doesn't really have a spot in my house. I normally keep it in the bunny room closet, but this is just a baby scale. So I weigh the cats and the rabbits on this scale. It works great. Just go on Amazon and get any baby scale. Honestly, it works fine. It goes up to 44 pounds. A scale isn't necessarily vitally important. I can always take him to the vet and have them weigh him there. But yes, that's the first thing. Do I look like Ronald McDonald? So my emergency kit supplies in my house are all kept in this cabinet. So I have a drawer up on top and then two lower cupboards that have drawers inside of them, and that's where I keep all of my emergency kit stuff, but I also keep my grooming supplies in here as well. I will not be showing you in this video all of my dog grooming supplies just because I have them in a box right now for another service dog haul that I will be posting on my personal channel. So I didn't put all of his grooming stuff in here, so I only have the rabbits and cats stuff in here right now, but I have all of the emergency kit stuff, which is what this video is about. So first off, I'm going to show you this drawer. So this drawer has, I don't really have my stuff organized by like type of emergency. I just have it organized by where it fits in my cupboards. So the first thing over here, we just have all of these storage containers. Again, these storage containers are from a store that is out of business, but then this is from the Dollar Tree. So there's a lot of good organization baskets at the Dollar Tree. So the first thing we have is vet wrap. This is very useful with dogs. I've never had to use it in rabbits. Rabbits tend to chew things if you wrap anything on them, they're just gonna chew it off. So I've personally never had an emergency or anything that a rabbit has had a bandage on them. I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen like in extreme cases, but typically you wouldn't do that like you would for a cat or a dog. Then we have some ACE bandages. These are the Velcro kind, so they just Velcro to themselves. This can be used to wrap a wound. I've got a 2-inch and then a 3-inch, I think, ACE wrap. I don't really know the sizes. Then I just have some plain Ziplock bags that I'm going to be using if my cats or dogs ever get a tick attached to them. I live in one of the worst counties in the United States, or specifically my state in general, for Lyme disease. Obviously, all of my cats and dogs are treated for ticks and Lyme disease, but if they were ever to have a tick attached to them, I would write the date and time and everything on here and take the tick to the vet to get it tested. Hopefully that never happens, but that's what we got there. In this container, these are just a bunch of tools. So I just have a flashlight in case I need to see something. I use my phone flashlight a lot when I'm cutting the rabbit's nails because it's flat. You can just lay it down on the ground. So when you're trimming nails by yourself in rabbits, you can set it down like this and hold the nail over the top. Whereas with a flashlight, you kind of have to hold it funny. So I do use that, but obviously if the power was to ever go out, it's good to have a flashlight. Then we have this, which is just tweezers that I got off of Amazon. It came with 4, but 2 of them I put in the travel emergency kit thing. Then I just have this pair of surgical scissors. So yeah, I got a pack of 2 of surgical scissors from Amazon. These can be used in emergencies to cut things. Obviously it can be used to cut off collars and harnesses in dogs because they're very sharp. So it can cut through like nylon and things like that. Next, over here, we have some saline wound wash. This was recommended to me for dogs specifically, so I don't know if I would necessarily get this for rabbits or cats, but all that's in it is purified water and sterile saline. So honestly, it's not gonna hurt anything. There's nothing in it that's dangerous for pets. Next, we have ear cleaner for dogs and cats. This will be used with Luca. I don't remember how often he gets his ears cleaned, but he'll be on this. He also is on an ear medication, I think. Well, not an ear medication, it's like an eardrop thing because labs are prone to ear infections. So he'll be on this and then some ear drops just to make sure he doesn't get ear infections. So this is kind of more of a grooming thing, but obviously kind of whatever. These are chlorhexidine pads. My vet gave these to me for Milo when he had acne. She had me wipe his face with this. It's basically antibacterial thing, so that's kind of what it's used for. I personally didn't use this much with Milo's acne. I actually got a medicated shampoo for that, which I'll actually go grab. So this is the shampoo that I used with Milo. I just keep this under the laundry room sink because that's where I give the cats baths if they need them. Obviously, you don't bathe cats unless medically necessary. But in this case he had acne under his chin, which some cats are prone to. Thankfully, he hasn't really had it since then. This worked really well. I wouldn't wash his whole body, I just washed under his chin, but he kind of got wet on his front paws. But yeah, that's what I ended up using for him. I got some bag balm. I was recommended by my service dog trainer to get this. I believe they use it on paw pads. I'm gonna have to ask her specifically why she wanted me to get this because I don't really know. I think it's for, it's obviously for moisturizing, so we'll see. Then I got Hydrocortisone Spray, which can be used with hot spots in dogs. Hot spots can be kind of common in dogs when their skin gets excess moisture on it. Obviously, you avoid having excess moisture on them for long periods of time so that doesn't happen, but if it does, I have hydrocortisone spray for hot spots. Next, we have petroleum jelly. This is used for giving temperatures. This can be used in dogs, cats, and rabbits. So this is just a thermometer from Amazon. I just got like the top rated rectal thermometer. Well, this can be used in the mouth as well, but I'll be using it rectally with the pets. You basically stick this in the petroleum jelly so that it's lubricated, and then you stick it in their butthole. So yeah, that's how you take their temperature. So yeah, you can do that if you think your pet might have a temperature. Obviously, never a replacement for veterinary care. Then I have Neosporin. I've been told not to use this on rabbits. Some people have claimed that it is safe for rabbits, and like especially 10 years ago it was really recommended. I personally had a vet tell me not to use it on rabbits because rabbits will lick anything off that you put on them, and she said this could cause them to have digestional problems if they were to lick it. So I've been told not to use this on rabbits, but I did pick it up for the cats and the dogs. If obviously if you like wrap it, they wouldn't be able to lick it off. So also for humans, it's probably good that I have this on hand. Lincoln, you're making noise. So next I have this soothing eye wash. This is from Walgreens, and this can be used to like flush out eyes. I've used this a lot with rabbits actually, and I highly recommend everyone have this on hand. I've used this because like Sterling, like a year ago, well, maybe like 6 months ago, he had a piece of hay in his eye and he was like closing, actually I don't even know what was in his eyes. He was just closing it funny, and I just flushed it out and it was totally better the next day. I've also had, like, if hay gets in their eye or a dust particle, you can just flush it out. Obviously don't touch the plastic to their eye, just squeeze it and put the stream in their eye. This can be used with dogs and cats as well if you ever need to flush their eyes out, and it is safe, so yes. Next, I have this Vetericyn Plus Antimicrobial Hydrogel. This is used for, actually I should show it after this. Basically, you spray the wound with this and then you follow up with this. It's just antimicrobial thing. It relieves itch, pain, protects skin, helps healing with wounds, cuts, sores, and irritations. So I got these mainly for the dog. This was recommended for dogs, but you can also use it in cats. I've used this a lot on my cats when my cats got a burn. My cats jumped on the stove once and I had to treat them. Obviously I talked to the vet and everything, but I did use this on their paws. As far as using this with rabbits, it does have a picture of a rabbit on it. Please know that just because something has a picture of a rabbit doesn't mean it's necessarily safe. So I personally didn't have this in my emergency kit for rabbits, just cats and dogs. If a rabbit ever had like a wound or something, I would use probably chlorhexidine on it, diluted chlorhexidine. That's probably what I would use, and I'd flush it out with water. So yes. Next, I just have some tape. No idea if I'll ever use this, but if I needed to tape something, here it is. Then over here, I have a tick remover. Hopefully, again, I really hope they don't get a lot of ticks, but if I ever do, I have a tick remover. I also have a smaller size tick remover in my travel emergency kit for the dog. Then in here, we have a book called The First Aid Companion for Dogs and Cats. This was like the top rated first aid kit book on Amazon, and so I did pick it up. Oh, how to check for a fever, great. So yeah, it just has like every possible, like if there's something in their eye, I don't know, it just has like a ton of stuff in here. So obviously this isn't useful for rabbits necessarily, because it's just for cats and dogs. But if you have a cat or a dog, I recommend this. Really helpful. It has like a directory in the front. So it also has like a list of medications in here. So I did want to touch on that. As far as, oh yeah, it says Neosporin. As far as using medication, you'll notice in my emergency kit, I do not have any human meds for dogs or cats. Some human meds are safe for dogs and cats, never rabbits. Do not ever give your rabbit medication unless it's from your vet. Like, do not. You will literally kill your rabbit. However, there are some medications like Benadryl that have been used in dogs a lot for like antihistamines. I do not have any of those in my emergency kit at this time. The reasoning for that is I want to speak to my veterinarian first, get her opinion on what to have on hand, and have her guide me on what she feels is safe and what she feels isn't. So until that time, I do not have medications in here, because I'm sure some people probably would wonder about that if you're a dog person. But yes, always have everything cleared by a vet before you use it. That's just a disclaimer. So yeah, that's everything in here. I still have room for more stuff if needed. Oh my word, that cat is insane. So next I'm gonna show you what are in these lower cupboards. So I just have two drawers here. There's a top drawer and a bottom drawer. I'll start with the top drawer. So starting off over here, we just, first of all, the containers, these are from Target. I got a pack of 3 for fairly cheap. And then I got these, this blue one, these white ones, the pink ones, and the see-through ones are all from the dollar store. So anyways, first over here we have our 1 ml syringes. I go through these so often. I buy packs of 100 of these on Amazon, and this is my second 100 pack, mainly because Lulu was on daily medications, so was Ebony, so I would have to replace the syringes whenever they broke or they just got too used. I also use these for critical care. If you use the fine grind critical care, which I'll show you in a second, you can use smaller syringes for that, which is easier for rabbits who are picky or are really bad with force feeding. So I definitely, if you have rabbits, get 1 ml syringes. Back here I have the 60 ml syringes. These can be used for rabbits who take critical care better. So the reasoning that these are better for picky rabbits is it's only 1 ml going in their mouth at a time, which is a very small amount. If you use a 60 ml syringe, you're pushing probably 2 or 3 mLs at a time in their mouth, which is just a lot. So if they don't like the taste of it, they're probably just gonna spit it out, whereas this makes it harder for them to just spit out. I use these when force feeding, like when I force fed Lulu critical care. She liked the taste of it, so she like ate it right off the syringe, so it was really easy. Next, we just have these. These are actually syringes that I use for my port. It has sterile saline in it, but I figured if I ever needed sterile saline to flush out a wound for, you know, any of the pets, I could use these. Obviously, these are through prescription. I get these prescribed from my doctor, so I don't know if you can actually just like buy these on Amazon, but that's what I have in there. Obviously, you can also flush out wounds with like a wound wash or just with tap water as well. Then I have Band-Aids for myself in case I get injured. I have a thing of Purell. This is just hand sanitizer that I can use before, you know, to sterilize my hands. Back here, I have extra little bottles of water in case the power goes out. I live in town, so I do not have well water, which means if the power goes out, we have no running water. So this can be used for humans, rabbits, cats, dogs, just for drinking. I have more. I just have 3 bottles right here, but I do have more water bottles in my car emergency kit, and then also I have extras that I'll probably keep in a cupboard for myself. So even if I'll have more than just 3 is what I'm saying. In here, I just have some sterile alcohol swabs or alcohol pads. So I'll actually open one for you guys. I have a bunch of these because I have a portacath, like I mentioned. So I use these to clean off my port before I flush like saline and stuff through it. So it's basically this little pad and it's just sterile alcohol, and you can use it to clean off, you know, sterilize things. I think I've used it when I'm giving sub-Q fluids. If I accidentally touch something, I'll clean it off with alcohol to re-sterilize it. In here, I just have non-sterile gloves. These are just rubber gloves in case I'm not supposed to touch something. Like sometimes there's medications that you put on cats and dogs that you're not supposed to touch, so I figured I'd have some of that. I have an extra mask. No idea if I would ever need that, but I was like, why not? These are a pair of sterile gloves. Again, these were prescribed to me because I have a port. I don't know if you can order these on Amazon. I do know they have sterile gloves in some of the dog emergency kits that you can buy pre-made on Amazon, but I don't know if you can just buy sterile gloves. So anyways, that's what I have there. Then I have these syringes, which are, these are 3 ml syringes. I've never really used these with the rabbits, but the cats sometimes have medications that require, you know, more than 1 ml. Well, sometimes the rabbits do too. Like sometimes I've needed over 1 ml of Meloxicam before for bunnies. So you could use these, otherwise you could just use multiple of the 1 mls. Then over here, we just have some 10 ml syringes. Again, I don't know for sure if I'll ever really need these, but I thought it would be good to have a bunch around. I am kind of disappointed. I ordered these off Amazon and I thought I only ordered sterile syringes, but these ones are not sterile. So as long as they're clean, you can use these for force feeding. They just need to be clean. But I thought I only bought sterile ones, so I don't know why that's like that. Then I have 20 ml syringe. Again, you could use this for like critical care in rabbits, most likely, but I've only ever used the 1 ml or the 60 ml. Actually, I've used 10 ml, like 12 ml syringes before, so you could probably use these too. Anyways, what I'm saying is you probably don't need every single size, but I figured because I have dogs and cats too, I'll most likely need more sizes. Next, I have Styptic powder. This can be used if you cut the quick on dogs, cats, or rabbits. Again, if you don't have this, you can use, I believe, cornstarch I just don't know, like, I think you can use flour too. I don't know if it works as well. I've actually never used Styptic powder. I just bought this. I've always previously used cornstarch or flour on the rabbits and it worked fine. But I thought since I'm getting a dog, they have way bigger nails, so I better get this. You can always also try clotting off the bleeding with a cotton pad first, like I mentioned. But if it's too deep, it's gonna bleed right through that, so you can just put Styptic powder on it. It does burn a little bit when you put this on initially, but obviously you need to stop the bleeding. So then I have nail clippers. I use these for the cats and the rabbits. They're just regular nail clippers. Then I have these 2 grooming scissors. They have dulled tips so that you can't poke your pet. And these can be used to clip fur away from a wound, or it could just be used to clip fur when you're grooming, so either one. Then I just have a bunch of brushes in here that I use to groom the bunnies and the cats, so I just got all of those in there. Next on this side, we just have this, which is Rescue Remedy. This is a natural stress relief for pets. I actually don't even know like how scientific this is. I used to use this in ebony. I thought it worked for a little bit, but then I feel like it didn't really work anymore, so I don't know. Then I have Adequane, which this is a prescription medication. I had this prescribed to me for Lulu for her arthritis. It's technically for dogs, but you can use it in rabbits and cats. Highly recommend this if your animal has arthritis. It works so well. And it is very expensive, and this bottle's almost out of date. It's gonna go out of date in October, and this bottle alone is probably like $70, so yeah. Anyways, I just have that in there until it goes out of date. Then I have an extra bottle of Meloxicam. Basically, I used to be on a subscribe and save for medication because Lulu was chronically on Meloxicam for her arthritis. So for years, I just had this shipped to me once a month, and after Lulu passed away, the subscription sent me another bottle, even though, you know, I didn't need it anymore, but it's good to have on hand, so I do have that. And then I have an open bottle of Meloxicam. Meloxicam, again, can only be given from a veterinarian and should only be given under veterinary advice. Then we have Critical Care. You can buy Critical Care on my online shop. We sell this version, which it's kind of shiny, but this is the Critical Care Fine Grind. This is one of my favorites for picky rabbits. It's a little bit more expensive because it's actually a formula that you can use for tube feeding animals. So you can tube feed, you know, I know a tortoise once. I went to the vet and there was a tortoise on a tube feed, but yeah, it's just a finer grind formula so it can fit through a tube, but you can use these with the 1 ml syringes and it works really, really well. So I use this with Ebony because she's extremely picky, but if you were like with Lulu, I would just use the normal one on her because she ate it just fine. But yeah, I just have the Critical Care. I have another fine grind in here. So you guys can get the fine grind or the normal Critical Care on my online shop. You can also keep this in the freezer to keep it fresh past the expiration date. I personally don't have mine in the freezer right now because I was using it with Ebony recently, but if I end up not using it for a while, I'll probably put these both in a Ziploc bag and stick it in my freezer just so that it stays nice and fresh. But yeah, that's everything on the top shelf. So down here is the bottom shelf, and as you can see, it's pretty full. And I just have all of these different containers and objects. So I'm actually gonna pull these all out and show you in detail because it'll be a lot easier on the counter than me just bending over. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that. So one of the first things I have in this cupboard is hydrogen peroxide. A lot of people said for dogs specifically, this is really good to have on hand in your emergency kit. Obviously, it should always be used under veterinary advice. And I believe most of it's just for inducing vomiting in case they eat something poisonous. But again, always speak to a veterinarian first. So I just have a bottle of this on hand in there. The next thing I have is this giant gallon of chlorhexidine solution. and you kind of have to buy it by the gallon unless you just buy a tiny amount. And it's cheaper this way. This was like 18 bucks on Amazon. And chlorhexidine solution is basically antibacterial, I believe is what you could describe it as. It's a cleaning solution for horses, dogs, application on superficial cuts, abrasions, insect stings. So that's what it's supposed to be used for. You can also use this on sore hocks in rabbits. I have a video all about sore hocks that is fairly old that I will post in the iCard up above, but I hope to be making an updated sore hocks video for you guys because some of you guys have mentioned wanting a more current date one. But always dilute this solution. This is like non-diluted, so you need to dilute it with water. In my sore hocks video, I talk all about like how to dilute it for rabbits specifically. But anyways, you can use this on cuts and stuff for dogs. I've even used it on the cats before. The next thing I have down here is just this container for the cat's flea and tick medicine. So it's fleas, ticks, heartworm, roundworms, I think, mites, I don't know, it's like a bunch of things. They use Revolution Plus, which is a prescription that you get from your veterinarian. It is not safe for rabbits. The only flea medicine that's safe for rabbits is Revolution, the plain one. This is Revolution Plus, which includes like ticks and heartworms and stuff. That one's not safe for bunnies. So I don't treat my rabbits unless they have some sort of condition like mites or something. Then I give them Revolution from the vet. But otherwise, my cats are always on flea and tick preventative because they do have an outdoor catio that they go outside in, and Lincoln and Milo sometimes will go on a harness. But obviously I don't agree with taking rabbits outside, so I don't give my rabbits any preventatives for that, in case you were wondering. Also, heartworm prevention is vital for cats. I know they talk a lot about it in dogs, but even though it is a little bit more rare in cats, it's still very deadly. So it's very important to always have them on some sort of heartworm prevention, because if they get heartworm, it's kind of like not good. The next things that I have are, just 2 cones. I have this plastic cone that my vet gave me years ago, and I use this for the cats and the rabbits if they need it. Obviously, they don't need it very often, but I have had to use this on Milo recently, and I think the only rabbit I've ever used it with was Mocha. But yeah, you just have that. And then I picked this up for free from a garage sale. I'm not 100% sure this is the right size for Luca. It says it's a medium large, but it looks pretty small. So once I get Luca home, I'm gonna try it on him. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna go out and grab one that's his size. I'll probably end up getting like a donut or something because I've heard dogs like those better. But this was free, so I was like, all right, I'll just grab it and see if it works. So I just have a cone, you know, just in case, but hopefully I won't ever have to use it. The next thing that we have in here is some containers, but I'm gonna hold off on showing you guys that for a second. Then I have a box of 60 ml syringes. Definitely overkill, you do not need 25, but I think Amazon sells like packs of 6 instead of 25. That probably would have been smarter of me, but yeah, now I have 25 syringes, so. The next thing I have is a Sharps container. This is a free Sharps container I got from a pet pharmacy years ago. It's for insulin for dogs. Apparently they give these to people who give insulin to their dogs, but they gave me one for free because I give my rabbits injections, or I used to give them injections. I don't anymore. The only time I use needles with the bunnies is if they need sub-Q fluids, but this is almost full, so I definitely need to dispose of this, and I don't really know how. People tell me to like go to the police station or something, but I'm like, are they gonna believe me when I tell them that these are my rabbit needles? They're gonna be like, yeah, right, you're doing drugs. Like, this container is so old. My mom got it for me when I was like 6 or something, but it's working. In here, we just have not very much stuff, so I'm just gonna quickly show you. First thing I have is an extra small Thunder shirt. This does not fit any of my pets, but I just thought I would throw it in here in case, I don't know, I get a tiny kitten, I don't know. So I just have that. I also have this otoscope thing that you're supposed to be able to look in ears with. I think you can do it with like rabbit ears, cat ears, literally any ears, but the battery's dead on it, so it doesn't work right now. I'm gonna try to replace the batteries and see if it works. If not, I might have to like throw it away, but it was just on Amazon if you guys are interested. This is also from Amazon. This is a stethoscope. The main reason I have it is when rabbits are in GI stasis, it's important to be able to hear their stomach to see if they are experiencing any movement in their GI system. If there's no movement at all, that's a really bad sign. Sometimes you'll hear very loud movements, like gurgles that you can hear without a stethoscope. That means it's like very painful gas. But sometimes you're not hearing anything without a stethoscope, so you can use this to listen to their gut to see if I don't know how many seconds, it's like every couple of seconds you should hear I don't know how to describe it, like a gurgle. So that's what I use this for if my rabbits are in like bad GI stasis, just to make sure everything's moving. Obviously, not a replacement for veterinary care. This is after going to the vet and getting treatment. The last thing I have is this thing called an Equine light therapy. And I bought this on Black Friday 2 years ago, I believe, for Lulu. She has arthritis, or she had arthritis. She passed away back, I think, in like January. But she was doing cold laser therapy at the vet office, but it was making her too stressed out to drive back and forth from the vet. So I bought red light therapy, which is not as researched, I believe, as cold laser therapy. But to buy a cold laser therapy machine that's actually good and tested without a veterinary license is very difficult, if not expensive. So this was pretty decently priced. I don't remember how much it was, but I got it like 50% off on Black Friday or something. This is the size that I got, and it's supposed to be good for like healing injuries, stuff like that. It should never be in place of veterinary care, obviously, but this could also be used for cats if they have arthritis or something, or for dogs, or anything else if they have an injury. So I just have that in there, and that's all that's in here. So now I'm gonna show you these two containers. So the first one of these blue containers is basically full of like wound care supplies. All of this you can have on hand for rabbits, but you can also use this for cats and dogs as well. So in here, we just have these cotton rounds. These I've used before in rabbits if I accidentally trim their nails. Sometimes you can try to just clot it off with a cotton round if you've barely trimmed it. If you've trimmed it a lot, you'll want to use something to clot the wound, like Styptic powder. I think you can use cornstarch or flour as well if you don't have that. And I also use these to clean rabbit scent glands. So not all of this stuff is like emergency. Some of it can be used for grooming as well. I have 2 Band-Aids or 3 Band-Aids in here. Don't really know why. Those are for humans, obviously. I have 2 things of gauze rolls. So this is a gauze roll, this is a gauze roll. Then I have these 2x2 gauze pads. I've used these before, once when I was giving Lulu an injection, I believe, or maybe it was sub-Q fluids. She did bleed a tiny bit from the needle, so I just like held this on the needle hole, and you know, it was all good. Normally rabbits don't bleed from injections. That was like the only time it ever happened. I have this self-adhering tape stuff, and I shouldn't have taken it out of the package, but I've had this for years. I don't know why I took it out of the package necessarily, but that's in there. Then underneath here, this container, by the way, was from a store that has gone out of business, so I don't think they sell these anymore, but I think Target has a lot of organizational containers like this if you guys are interested. So in here, I have some 4x4 gauze pads. So these could be used for larger wounds or anything like that. Obviously could be used with humans too. I personally do not have a first aid kit for humans, so I feel like a lot of this stuff could be used on me if, you know, I started dying or something. So then I just have some Q-tips. I use these for grooming as well, for cleaning scent glands in rabbits, but I figured I could use these for cats and dogs too if I need to. I've got some cotton balls here that can also be used for like cleaning scent glands or things like that. I think you can clean like dog ears and stuff. I've got some more self-adhesive wrap, but this is like a 1-inch one instead of like a 2-inch. So yeah, that's everything in there. Next one is the same exact container, but this has supplies for injections and sub-Q fluids. So all of this has to be purchased through a prescription from your veterinarian, or your veterinarian will sometimes give it to you if you need it for certain medications. But you can't just like go out and buy this stuff, and you shouldn't go out and buy this stuff without, you know, training from a veterinarian and everything like that. So in this first one, we have these needles that I use for sub-Q fluids in rabbits. My vet has given me the clearance to be able to do this at home if needed. Over here, I don't really know the difference between these needles. I know they're different sizes, but I don't know why my vet has me use these ones for injections and these ones for sub-Q fluids. Probably if you're a vet tech or a veterinarian, you could let me know in the comments, but she has me use these ones, which are 25 by 5/8 A for injectable medication, and then she has me use the 20 by 1A for fluids. I wonder if these ones are bigger, because 20 by 1 I think is bigger than 25 and 5/8. That would make sense, but I don't know. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I just do what my vet tells me. These are needles that you use for injectable medication. So they have syringes attached to them. You open it up, you draw the medication out, and then you switch needles and put this needle on top, and then you inject the medication into the rabbit or animal in general. I've used these for the cats as well, because the cats used to be, or my mom's old cats used to be on injections. Basically, you can't use the same needle that you draw the medication out that you do to inject it into the animal, because it dulls the needle. Anyways, under here, the only thing I have are sub-Q fluid tubings. This is for the rabbits. I do not have clearance to give sub-Q fluids to my cats. So I only use these with the rabbits. If the cats my cats have never really needed it, to be honest. And if they did, I would just take them to the vet. So yeah, I also have sub-Q fluids in my basement. I just keep them down there because it's like a cool place to store them. And I have quite a few bags, so I just leave them down there. But I just put all the other supplies up here. But yeah, that's what's in there. So that is everything in these cupboards and in this drawer unit. This is a really awkward angle, but I thought I would quickly show you what's in this cupboard. This is my cat cupboard. Most of it's not medical supplies, but I do have a little bit of medical supplies in here. I have a child lock on it because my cats know how to open it, and they've opened it several times and gotten into trouble. So I just keep it child locked so that they don't get into it. But in here, basically I just have like supplements for the cats, which is up here. I don't use any of these right now, so I just have them stored up here in case I ever do. Then I have their food stuff, some random toys, clicker training, their toothbrush stuff. So that's not really medical stuff, but this container I do have medical supplies in, and I thought I would just quickly run through what this is. Lincoln, see, they come running when I open this cupboard because they know there's treats in there. Oh, I'm getting blinded by the light. Right here, I just have a container that I put Milo's open medication inside of. Basically, Milo gets gabapentin 3 times a day, so he only gets half a pill each time. So because he only gets half a pill, I put the other half in this container. Then I have a 1 ml syringe down there for this. This is Milo's new medication. He's on Prozac for anxiety and his feline hyperesthesia. Lincoln is also on a liquid medication for diarrhea right now, but it's in the laundry room, so I'm not gonna show you. It's literally just a bottle. Then I have Feel Away, which is a pheromone for cats that helps them feel relaxed, which this is almost out of date. Then I have this medication. It's called Terramycin, and this was used for Milo when he had, stop it! Anyways, this was when Milo had a viral infection. I just had to put this in his eyes. Then I have Mirataz, which you can use to stimulate appetite in cats. Obviously you can only use it, it's like veterinary prescribed, so you can't just like get it. So I've had to use this with Lincoln because of his suspected IBD. He sometimes gets lack of appetite, so I have to use that to make him eat. Here I have Pepcid, which is famotidine. This is a human medication, but Milo was prescribed this when he was having chronic vomiting. He started having blood in his esophagus from vomiting so much. And apparently you can use this in cats, but obviously never use medication without a veterinary recommendation. How many times have I said that in this video? Next, I just have this tooth rinse, gum rinse. Milo has gum disease. It's just genetic. He was born with it. So for a while, they had me shoot this on his gums to see if it would help, but his gum disease is pretty mild right now, so we're not really doing a ton for it. But yeah, that's everything in here. Oh, the only other medication I have is Oratine. This is also a gum disease medication that you put on the cat's gums. So anyways, that's what's in this cupboard. So next I'm just gonna show you the emergency kit that I have for in the car. This is specifically for Luca, my service dog. So it's just in this container, this duffel bag thing. I just looked for, I think it was first responder bag, and this popped up on Amazon. So this is supposed to be like for first responders, I guess, but it was fairly reasonable. I think it was like $12, maybe it was 20, I don't know. So this is what I picked up. I also have this bag, which is literally a bag from my vet. And inside of here is basically, I just have extra water bottles. I will be taking this bag and this bag in and out of my car every single time I go somewhere because it has liquids in it and I don't want it to freeze or get hot. So I'll just keep this by my door. Then I just have these Burt's Bees multi-purpose hypoallergenic wipes. These are just to wipe Luca off if he gets dirty or after he goes to the bathroom or something. I thought these were travel size and then I bought them and they're kind of thick, so it's not really that convenient. But if anyone has like a better bag system that would fit all of this, let me know. Then I have this 3-in-1 deodorizing spray. I don't know if I'm gonna need this in the car. Let me know if you guys use this, like if you have a service dog, if you use this on the go. Otherwise, I might just keep this at home. I do have another one of these that I can keep in the house, but this is just in between baths. Because a service dog is out in public, you need to make sure they're always very groomed and smell nice. So I just have that. The last thing in here, I just have this microfiber towel. I don't know how much it was, $8? I don't remember. It wasn't that much. And this can just be used if they get wet and you need to wipe them dry. So that's all that's in here. All right, so this is the bag. I'm just gonna go ahead and open I guess I'll open the main compartment first. So first in here, you will see a muzzle. Obviously, Luca does not bite. He's not aggressive. If he was, he would not be a service dog. Like, that's not allowed. But when dogs are injured or in emergency situations, sometimes it's a good idea to have a muzzle on them to keep everyone safe. Because when a dog is injured, if you touch something that hurts really bad, they might like try to bite at you because to tell you that it hurts. So this is just to keep everyone safe, and I don't even know if I'll ever need it or need to use it, but you know, it's good to have. It's kind of hard to see in here too because it's really packed in here. It comes with this like separation organizer thing in the middle. So on the side of that, I just have a pair of sterile gloves. Again, I got this from my home health company, so I don't know if you can order those. In this pocket on the side, I just have a pair or several of these 4x4 gauze pads. Then I just have this. This came with this bag. It just has Bandaids in it and a pair of sterile gauze. So yeah, it just came with this bag, so I thought I'd stick it in there. Right here, I just have this thing that says Walgreens. I'm trying not to touch it too much. This is an emergency ice pack. You have to like twist it a couple of times and then it will become cold, but it's also reusable. So after you use it, you can put it in your freezer and use it again. But I have this in here because obviously if you're in the car, you can't keep something frozen. So this is in case, you know, we need ice on the go. It can also be used with humans as well. Then we just have two of these sterile gauze wrap things. I have vet wrap. And then I have 2 Ace bandages. I have the bigger size and the smaller size in there. Next on this side, I just have non-sterile gloves in this baggie. So these are just plastic gloves. And then I have a ton of these Alchohol sterile prep pads. So these again are just like the other ones. This is just a different brand. It can be used to sterilize stuff, and yeah, it's just alcohol. So next on the side here, we just have a bunch of these 2x2 gauze pads. I just have several stuck in there. Oh, I forgot to show you in the middle here, I have a small tick remover. Yeah. I thought I should bring that just in case. And then in this one, we have, these are just tweezers for on the go in case he gets like a burr stuck in him. You know, I just have that so that we can take that out. Yeah, okay, that's everything in this main pocket. So I'm just gonna stick that back in there. And this is really nice because like it bulges, so you don't have to like, I don't know, it's like easier to fit everything in it because it's like a duffel bag material. On this side, we have a spare leash. This is in case of emergencies, in case a leash breaks or something, and we need to contain the dog. Obviously, you need a leash. I might get a different one that's like takes up less space, but we'll see. That's all I had for now. Next, I have a collar with a tag on it. So this is the other side. It just says Luca, service dog, do not separate from handler. And then on the back, it just has my address. It says that he's microchipped. And then it has my phone number. So that's in case his collar breaks and you need a spare collar with a tag on it. So that's what we got there. Then we have a flashlight. This is the same flashlight that I showed you before. It came in a 2-pack on Amazon for fairly reasonable. So obviously if you're out in the dark with the dog and you need a flashlight, or your car breaks down and you need a flashlight, that's always good to have. And then I have another pair of surgical scissors. Again, this to like cut a collar off. I'm obviously not gonna do it right now. So yeah, that's everything in there. And then on the other side, we just have some travel hand sanitizer. And then we also have these same sprays that I had in my house emergency kit. This is just, you spray this on the wound first, and then there's this antimicrobial hydrogel. So this can just be sprayed on wounds on the go. Obviously, all of this stuff is just for in the moment emergencies. If anything ever happened, we would immediately drive to a vet or drive home and get, you know, extra supplies. This is just stuff that you might need in the moment right away. So yeah, that's everything in there. So that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found it interesting, even though I also showed cat and dog supplies as well as rabbits. Let me know down in the comments below if there's anything else that you guys use for your cats, dogs, or rabbits in an emergency. And obviously, none of this is veterinary advice. Always seek your veterinarian's approval for any of this and contact them for any emergencies. One thing I do want to note that some people may have noticed is I do not have simethicone in my emergency kit for my rabbits. Simethicone has been used for years with small pets to alleviate gas. However, it has been proven like more recently that simethicone has no gas destroying properties in rabbits. I think basically what happens is it's destroyed by the stomach acid before it can even reach the gut. Anyways, simethicone has been shown not to do basically nothing in GI stasis in rabbits. So I personally don't really recommend using it because I think what a lot of people do is they give their rabbit simethicone and then they wait and see if they get better, which simethicone's not gonna do anything, which means you're waiting and delaying going to the vet to treat GI stasis. So I personally don't use it. I immediately call the vet and get them in. I think people think that I just treat GI stasis at home. I don't. Every time my rabbit goes into GI stasis, I call the vet. Sometimes my vet doesn't make me come in because they will just have me drive there and grab a couple medications and then come home and treat it because they know that I'm capable to treat it myself. but I always call them and let them know what's going on because it's very important to have your veterinary advice. The closer you work with your veterinarian, the more they trust you and the more they're gonna give you medications to keep on hand at home. They're gonna give you subcutaneous fluids, they're gonna do things like that. So that's why it's really important to have a very close relationship with your vet, even if you feel like, oh, I can handle this. No, you can't. So yeah, I have a very close relationship with my vet. They know me by name, they recognize me, they've asked me to work for them several times. So yeah, anyways, the other thing is, I thought I'd mention, I personally do not have insurance for my rabbits. I believe Nationwide does allow you to have insurance for rabbits. Personally, in my opinion, it basically covers nothing for rabbits. It like covers like annual exams or something, and I just save for it myself. I personally save $200 a month for both of my rabbits for an emergency fund, and I've never had an issue not having money as long as I save about $200. Obviously, if you have more rabbits or less rabbits, you would need to save different amounts. Or if you live in a more expensive area, you'd have to save more. I live in a very cheap state, in a very cheap city, so everything costs a lot less where I live. If you live in California or a big city, it's gonna be way different. For my cats, they currently are not on insurance, but as soon as I bring Luca home, I will be enrolling my cats and Luca onto insurance. I believe I'm gonna go with Trupanion, I think it's called. But I'm gonna double check when I research it. But yeah, all of my cats and dog will be on insurance. I still have an emergency savings account for them. I have $200 for the cats that I save every month for emergencies and vet visits. Trupanion, I believe, only covers like emergencies. They don't cover annual vet fees, which I don't think insurance needs to. But yeah, if you need any help with veterinary costs, definitely check out Care Credit. Care Credit is a great option for people who can't afford like large veterinary sums all at once. Most all vets take it. It is a credit card. Make sure you're over 18, or I think you have to be over 18. Make sure you're over 18 and you are responsible with credit and you know how that works. But Care Credit is a great option if you get a $4,000 vet bill and you can't afford it. You can put it on Care Credit and they allow you interest-free, I believe, up to a year to pay it off, something like that. Anyways, thought I'd mention that. I'm gonna go, my camera's dying. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah. See you in the next video. Bye.